So welcome to IT Techie guys. If you are new in the channel, please subscribe it. If you like it, you can like it and press the icon button, press the bell icon button on right hand of your side. Okay, so let me introduce myself. Myself Shivaji. I'm having a 5+ year experience, 2+ year I having a development experience, and 3+ year I am having a as a DevOps engineer. So let me start. We will discuss uh, the complete DevOps architectures, how the DevOps is, what are the skill set of DevOps. So let me start with the first slide. So if you see the below topic we are going to discuss in this session. Basics need to become the DevOps engineers, introduction to a DevOps, benefit of DevOps, DevOps lifecycle, business benefits, technical benefits, and what are the tools we need to we are going to use as a DevOps engineers, and question answers on the DevOps. Okay, we will start with the first point, that is basically to become a DevOps engineer. So the guys, the basic need to become a DevOps engineer. First point is really matters, that is communications. If you are a well communicator, definitely you should have to go with the DevOps engineer, because you need to coordinate with the multiple teams. You have to coordinate with the operational team, you have to coordinate with the development team, you have to coordinate with the business team as well. So communication is really matters. And if you are going with if you ask what kind of technical knowledge is required here, so definitely one programming knowledge, basic knowledge is required for that, not expert level also. Java, .NET, and any Python programming language is required. At least you should have to know how to use the if else statements, how to loop the statements, that kind of things you're supposed to know. Fourth point, that is any one either script, either Python script is required or shell script is required. So any one scripting knowledge is enough to handle the DevOps works and all. And last, that is we can say that is any basic knowledge. Hope you aware that Linux basic knowledge, definitely you know if you are well a graduate at any master, if you are doing any master certifications and all, definitely you are aware, you supposed to aware about the Linux and Linux command. Last one, but it's not least, it's very important. So with the DevOps guys, if you are done the AWS or Azure or Google Cloud certification, is well, your profile is really it will pick as a priority basis. It will be a key of to get the job of DevOps, because they are every organization mostly they are preferring the guys who have a knowledge of DevOps as well as the cloud. So always you're supposed to go with the AWS cloud and Google Cloud and Azure. Either any of the certifications you're supposed to complete it. Then only you will get, and your profile will be they will consider on high priority basis. Okay, then we'll start with the DevOps. So before DevOps coming to the pictures, what are the challenges we are facing it? So let me start. So before DevOps coming to the pictures, our traditional IT have the two separate teams. One is the development team and another is the optional team. Development team is always responsible for to work on the coding and releasing the code, and the operational team is always responsible for deploying the code. So whatever the code which is write by the development, the same code will be deployed by the operational team. So the development team will work on the software, developing it and making sure that the code works perfectly. And the operational team will be checking the same code and application and performance and reporting back. If any bug is found, they will reporting back to a development end. So sometimes what happens is the developer, whatever the code which is writing in the development end, the code which is working fine in the development, the environment, it's not working in the production end. That is how the big challenges before DevOps come into the picture. The developer always saying that my code is perfectly working fine in the development, how it's not working in the production. So operational team always blaming there is a issue in the coding. So there is always fight between the development and the production, development and the operational guys. So due to that, what is the DevOps coming into the picture? So Before DevOps, we will discuss what are the issue of a code, the code which is working in the development, why it's not working in the production. So the issue is like there are the configuration issue. Might the configuration which is using in the development is something different from production. It's like i6 processor they are using in the development, but in the production they are using i5. The RAM which is using in the 8 GB in the development and the RAM which is using in the production is different. Might the operating system, whatever the operating system which is using in the development, it's something different from production. Might there is a library issue. So there are a couple of issues due to that what DevOps come into the picture. So as I said earlier, here I have explained it in the same way. So when the operation team runs the same code, it will not work, right? The code, the developer write the code is working in the development, the same code is not working in the production. Reason for this could be there is a system environment or any missing software library. Due to this, there are always be back and forth between the development and operation. To bridge this gap, development team and operational team collaborated, giving rise to a DevOps. What is there is a collaboration between the development and the operational team, then it will rise as a DevOps. For example, for solving this the above problem, development team encapsulated their code in a container, which is lightweight in a software environment. Hope you are not aware. If you are new in the DevOps, you are not aware about the containers and all. So we will discuss step by step. So, for example, for solving the above problem, development team encapsulated their code in a container and which is lightweight. The software environment had the software environment had all the required software encapsulated in it. It means the container which is prepared by the development, whatever the things is required to run that container, everything it inserted into that container. So there is no environment dependency will be there. So the code, the container, whatever the things is required to run that container, everything will be there inside itself that container. So once the container is prepared, they will give to the operational team, and operational team will execute that same, and it will be give the output as expected. That this is how a DevOps works. So I hope the most of the guys is not aware about the containers and all. So this container is coming under the Docker. We'll create the container, we will create the images, lots of things we will do step by step. Okay. So let me will start on next slide. So benefit of DevOps. Improve the operational support and faster fixes. Definitely, if any issue is there in the build, on the same time we are able to identify it. Good process across IT teams and including the automation. Definitely, the DevOps guys, as a DevOps engineer, you need to concentrate on the repetitive tasks. Whatever the task which you are working, whether it is repeating, if it is repeating, you have to do the automation on that. That's the second point. And you have to concentrate on multiple team across all IT team. You have to coordinate with the development team. You have to coordinate with the business. You have to coordinate with the operational team. Third point, happier and more, I guess. As I said earlier, you have to coordinate with the multiple team, that is operational development and business teams, right? So definitely, if any issue is coming, you have to talk with the multiple teams, and you are well familiar with the multiple teams, so you are well known about the respective members, so you are easily solve that problem. Cross skilling and self development. That is fourth point: cross skilling and self improvement. So if you want to improve yourself, you can improve it by learning any cross scale, any you can say cross structure language in this case. Like if you have to you have to take, if you are not aware of any programming, you have to learn any basic programming learning language like Java, .NET, and any Pythons. That is what the cross scaling. And in the scripting end, we require any Python script, shell script, right? So and in a Linux. So DevOps guys supposed to know development, what developer is working, and operational, what operational team is doing. So that is what the cross scaling is required for this. Collaborative working. Definitely you have to coordinate with the operational team and the development team and business team. So definitely collaborative work is required there. Let me start with the other slide. DevOps life cycles. We have five DevOps life cycle. We have continuous deployment, we have continuous integrations, we have continuous testing, we have continuous deployment, and we have continuous monitoring. So let us start with the first point, that is continuous development. Continuous development is responsible completely for the developer who are writing the code and releasing the build. Continuous integration is we are using through a Jenkins and Bamboo. So whatever the code which is writing in the development, that we are integrating with the Jenkins. And we come to a third point, that is continuous testing. Continuous testing basically through Jenkins also is possible to do a testing, and also Pirate tester are able to do the testing post deploy. So this is what a continuous testing and continuous deployment. Once every delivery and deployment we are doing on a short period of time, that is continuous deployment. Any microservices, any module wise, if you want deployment within an hour or within an half an hour also, it's possible through a DevOps. But earlier, before DevOps, is not at all possible. It's take almost a week to deploy any release on a production. Let me move on the last point, that is continuous monitoring. Continuous monitoring in the sense, once we deploy the application on the production end, we have to monitor how the application is working, whether it's working as per our expectation. We have to do the sanity check for that. So by using the monitoring, we will do. So we have a couple of tools for this continuous monitoring as well. Business benefit. What business benefit actually we are getting it by using the DevOps? So faster delivery of feature, definitely I said that earlier itself I said each and every module we can deploy in a production a fraction of second in a production. Right? If any issue is coming, on the same time we are able to identify, and at the same time we are able to fix it. That is was faster delivery of features. More stable operating environment, definitely we have some configuration tools, that is Ansible, Puppet, and Chef, and SaltStack. So by using that tool, we are able to stabilize our operating environment. You can consider whatever the environment which is using by the developer, the same environment we can use on a production end as well. So we are able to identify if any changes happen by using the Ansible, Puppet, and Chef, we are able to maintain the same environment in all over across the organization, you can say. Third point is improved communications and collaboration. Definitely, there, as I said earlier, everything is dependent on the communication, how you are communicate with the multiple teams in the sense of business, in the sense of operational team, and in the sense of development team. More time to innovate. Definitely, we will get a more time to innovate what kind of things we need to do to automate, what kind of daily challenges we are facing it in the DevOps, right? So that we can fix it very easily. Technical benefit, continuous software. First is that is continuous software delivery, less complexity to manage. Second one, and faster resolution of problem. Third one, the first one, that's continuous software delivery. As I said earlier, within a fraction of second, fraction of minutes, we are able to deploy any release, any build. We are able to deploy on the production successfully. There is no any issue at all. That kind of things we are able to get it. This is what the big benefit of DevOps. Second point, less complexity. Definitely, we are able to manage all our environment on the same structure, same environment. We are managing it. That's what is the less complexity to manage all over across the all IT environment. Faster resolution of problems. Suppose consider if any developer there release any build in, or if there is any issue on the build, same time we are able to identify, and same time we will ask to fix that issue to developers. And from if it is our end, we are able to identify on the same. This is what the faster resolution of the problems. So that's it from these sessions. We will start next session on the next topic.